Israel's booster vaccination program, offering a third shot to over 40s, has begun to show signs of success. But the country's recent spike in cases has ignited debate about the future of the vaccination program in the ongoing pandemic. It had virtually returned to normal life by this spring. Cases stayed low and it looked like vaccination had more or less quashed Covid.From July, though cases started to rise again. Since Israel surged ahead in immunizing its population last winter, the rest of the vaccinated world has turned to it to understand what might be in store in the coming weeks and months. The country's own health leaders will be keeping a watchful eye on cases after schools reopen on September 1st, while next week, Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, will see groups gathering. Although the country rolled out jabs quickly and take-up was relatively high, there are still 1 million people out of its roughly 9 million overall population who are eligible for the vaccine and haven't taken it up. That's what was driving the wave, he said, a conclusion drawn from careful analysis of the rates of infection in people vaccinated in different months. Despite this fall, vaccination still prevents a substantial amount of sickness, with the unvaccinated becoming severely ill with COVID about 9 times as often in over 60s, and twice as often in younger people. Israel is responding to the dip in protection against infection by rolling out a booster program, offering a third jab first to over 60s and more recently to the over 40s. The boosters for older people began to be offered just over a month ago, and they appear to be now taking effect, with hospital admissions leveling off in that group. This is leading to a halt in the Delta wave, Professor Siegel said. Early data suggests a tenfold increase in protection from infection and severe disease after the third jab, compared with after 2. Dr. Anat Zohar, who is leading the booster program study, said 3 doses were highly protective against both infection and severe illness.
She added, the triple dose is the solution to curbing the current infection outbreak. There are fierce debates over whether booster programs should be rolled out when so many people around the world haven't even had one vaccine. And some have questioned whether it is sustainable to top up the vaccines every 6 months, or once a year as is the case with the flu jab. While we've built up a large amount of evidence to show the COVID vaccines are safe and effective for almost everyone, there are still areas where we need more information. One of those areas is exactly how long immunity lasts, and whether a third booster shot will provide much more durable protection. With the vaccines now protecting against most of the worst disease, people may still catch milder versions of COVID and boost their vaccine-derived immunity that way. Scientists have hypothesized that repeated exposure to the COVID infection, now with the protection of the vaccine and natural immunity from past infection rendering it less risky, could over time turn the virus into a potentially recurring, but relatively untroublesome illness. But others fear there may be a high cost to this, as breakthrough infections can still reach the most vulnerable and the eventual toll of long COVID remains unknown. At the least, Israel's booster program might provide more answers to some of these remaining questions.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.